gamers. Just chill.
Is this because we just spent a bunch of days in a pool in Nashville when it was 100+ degrees?
No, it's because I've been sick even before that, and I'm still trying to get it out of my system a little bit. Also, there have been so many presentations for video games lately, and I'm like, wow, you can just kind of do whatever you want if you're a guy in a suit who works at a video game company.
Yeah, let's pretend that we're the Nintendo uncles. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Snap. Welcome to Games and Feelings, an advice show about playing games, being human, and remembering that those games involve other humans. I am your husband, Eric Silver, and if I had to choose between having an animal companion, being able to turn into an animal, or being able to turn only one of my body parts into an animal part, I would choose animal parts. I think it would be fun to pull out big bird wings, or then I would have the hands of a tree frog and I could stick to a wall.
Wow, I didn't see that coming. That's pretty good.
Amanda McLoughlin, wife, would you rather have an animal companion be able to turn into an animal, or have body parts that are animal-y that you can activate at will?
Certainly not that one. I'm really torn. I'm really torn between having an animal. Who am I kidding? I read The Golden Compass at an impressionable age. The answer is an animal companion.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this because of Mario Wonder, which is one of the new 2D Mario game, and Mario just turns into an elephant man. And I'm like, I don't want that. What I would rather have is just being able to use some key points, and then being able to have tree frog hands. But the other one is from Donkey Kong Country or Be a Ranger, where you have an animal friend. And I'm I don't know if I want that amount of responsibility.
Yeah, I definitely want an animal friend. I want someone who understands me totally and completely and is maybe, I don't know, the opposite of my personality in all the ways they count. And his name is Pantalaimon. Okay. I want a daemon.
Right, a thing you already know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised with all the IP RPGs that exist, there isn't a Golden Compass tabletop RPG.
So good.
Like a real one.
Yeah, the Assassin's Creed games kind of reminded me of that, because you run over rooftops, and Lyra does that early on in her days in Oxford. So I don't know. That's always my choice. But being able to turn into a bird would be pretty sick as well.
Yeah, it's good. And also, you like it that one A and E swooshed together.
Oh, I love it.
That's your favorite letter. Your favorite letter is the A-E swoosh.
I remember distinctly going to my parents and being like, how do I pronounce this in my head? And they're like, I don't know. And I was like, what do you mean you don't know?
You went to college!
You went to college! I'm 7!
That's a lot of Amanda's vibe, is walking into a room and saying, I'm 7! Tell me what this is! How do you not know?
Yeah.
This is a replay main feed where we replay and reply to advice questions, ostensibly about games. I hope some of these are about games in competition.
Eric, today, all of them are about games.
Wow. Incredible. Amanda and I were the first husband and wife team to do something in podcasting. I'm really great that we're able to do this together.
We're really brave despite culture attempting to cancel us.
Just the institution of marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's saying a boy-girl dance, more like a boy-genius dance.
Also good.
There was just a video going on of Lucy Dacus and the Phoebe Bridgers, I was going to say the skeleton lady.
Yeah.
Just straight up making out for 30 seconds during a concert.
Yeah.
And then Julian Baker is just noodling on a guitar nearby.
Yeah.
What is happening over there?
Eric, when I tell you it was my entire Instagram feed the morning after it happened, it was my entire Instagram feed.
Wild. And now my whole TikTok feed is just the Grimace horror movie stuff. Do you know this?
No.
Okay, so there's a McDonald's is celebrating Grimace's birthday.
Okay, I've seen some images.
Right. And there's a Grimace shake, which is vanilla-y and berry, I guess. And what because the kids are all right, and TikTok is so funny, they're doing a video where they drink the shake and then immediately cut to them dead in a horror movie vibe. It's so funny. It's so funny. I love all of it.
It's amazing.
And there's hundreds. It's a thing. It's it's a genre.
Oh yeah.
It's just so funny, and some people are doing some really messed up stuff with it, and I find it deeply funny.
Oh, it's incredible.
So I definitely want to hit the advice questions, but let's do games that are giving us feelings. Let's talk about any game that you can be playing. It can be new, it can be old. It doesn't have to be coming out like the cajillions of games coming out on October 2023, which I don't want to talk about, but it's very overwhelming. We have to use an adjective to describe how we're feeling about it. Like this is LiveJournal. Amanda, do you have a game that's giving you feelings?
I am. The game that's giving me feelings right now is iPhone Sudoku. And the feeling that game is giving me is in control of this mortal coil, baby.
Wow. Is it just like standard? I know you've been playing this forever.
I have, but I have been taking the subway a lot more recently over the last month or so than I have other times. And, in like the most recent years, really. And so it used to be a commuting staple. But now that I typically walk everywhere I need to go, I have not played my iPhone Sudoku very much. And so now that I am again, the specific instance of playing this game is like it's soothing. You can play it in little bursts. Everybody else on the train is playing Sudoku, right? Like I'm just one of many. But the thing that happened to me recently is I was like pretty stumped on a puzzle and I had to like make some guesses, which I don't love doing all the time. And then ultimately busted. And then I was like, you know what? I can select hard and not expert. And you know what, Eric? I'm having a lot more fun. And so I was proud of myself for, downgrading my difficulty level because no one is auditing my Sudoku app to say, oh, I see you are an expert and you solved this puzzle in 10 minutes. No, it's a silly little thing for me to play on my phone. And being able to do it on hard mode and not expert mode brought me a lot of joy, made me feel in control of my experience.
Just to clarify what you're playing, this is a app that you've had for how many years?
Probably 6. Yeah.
Did you buy it? Was it free? Is it free?
It's free. It's got annoying ads.
Oh, it has annoying ads.
Yeah.
Why don't you just buy it? You've had it for cajillion years.
It's a good question. I should.
I saw a game on TikTok that is just like, throw this ball and do another ball and then keep doing it. It has thousands and thousands of levels and great. And immediately I'm like, I'm going to pay $3 so I never have to look at stupid ads. Of course I have to look at stupid ads for other reasons, but I have to look at like 50% less stupid ads. I have $3. I'm an adult. Oh,
you know what? Yes, I bought the one. I have 2. I bought one, which has no ads. And then the other one that has dark mode and more like customizable fonts. Sure. That one has annoying ads. So I haven't committed fully to buying a second Sudoku app.
You should buy a second Sudoku app.
Yeah, you're right.
You're an adult.
You're right. I'm worth it.
You're a wife on a podcast. You are taken care of.
Hey.
The game that's giving me feelings is the fact that we're recording this early, but we just went to Nashville, Tennessee to visit my mother, and we're doing this in the summer for the first time. Usually we just go in the fall because I don't know if you've heard, but the southern United States gets muggy in the summer. But also, like, I haven't spent a lot of time in, like, that region during hot weather. But, like, you just kind of go from one air-conditioned area to another air-conditioned area. It's not so bad.
No, not so bad.
I think I went to Texas in June for someone's bachelor party at some point. Maybe it was my brother's.
Your brother's, yeah.
Yeah. That's only very, like, iffy to me because I spent the majority of that time like incapacitated because I ate too much barbecue immediately after getting off the plane.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing that I'm taking from that
You did call me from the Airbnb and said I did eat too much barbecue.
It was so bad. It's because my stomach was in that weird in-between where like you immediately get off a plane and your body's like, everything's different. Eat something. And I wasn't hungry, but my body was so messed up that, and of course, like we waited in line. It was
a whole itinerary too. Like you couldn't, like that was your one time that you go to that barbecue
we went
place.
to like incredible barbecue place before we even went to the Airbnb. And like we waited online for like 90 minutes and it was just like in a parking lot and it was June and it was hot and there was like a keg of beer and then we finally got the food and then I ate like a pound and a half of meat and my body rejected it.
Yes.
It was bad. Anyway, so the point is we've never been there in the summer, so I'm very excited to take an air-conditioned car to indoor activities, hopefully like indoor mini golf, or maybe like we can get my mom to do some axe throwing or something.
Yeah.
Because there's an outdoor mini golf place I really like, but it might be too hot. I don't know. I just really want to do this stuff now that we're going to be in like a driving city, which Nashville very much is because of how much growth it's had. So you got to take highway to highway to highway to go do stuff. And they have like barcades and stuff. I'm just going to be bigger than any of the stuff we have in New York City, even in Brooklyn.
Totally. I'm excited.
Yeah. Maybe we can actually do the bowling. Oh, we can actually go to the pool at Pinewood Social.
Yeah.
Pinewood Social. Oh my God. Y'all go look this place up. It is a bowling alley / bar / restaurant / hangout place that has a pool on the roof. I really want to go. And it's going to be the middle of the day. We're just going to be free living.
I can't wait. Normally we have about a day before our sort of Thanksgiving prep gets underway. So, we've gone for like the last 5 years or so, but I've only ever gone to like a handful of restaurants there because mostly we're there to cook a giant turkey in your mom's kitchen. So I'm very excited to explore places that we normally don't go to, especially related to food. We can go back to that tiki bar.
Oh, yeah. And that's near the coffee place.
Mm-hmm.
It's near
Barista
Parlor. Yeah.
Yep.
And my mom has
what's
a lot.
The game, Eric? The indoor mini golf / bowling / activity you want to do?
I have anticipation of taking a car to large warehouses that have been turned into through the urban revitalization plan of Nashville, Tennessee.
Good.
Turned into games places.
Yes.
Whether it is art, whether it is barcade, indoor mini golf, axe throwing, archery, etc.
If it can handle a bachelorette party of 18 girlies, then I think it can handle husband and wife podcaster duo.
Yes, and my mom in tow.
Yeah.
And she's going to be like, I'm not good at this. And we're like, that's fine, Mom.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Me neither.
You're gonna be great. Hey, Amanda.
Yeah.
Do you want to give me questions? We have so much time for questions.
Yes, I'm very excited. This one, actually, Eric, you found came through the question form, 2 games and feelings.
Oh, yes.
Not a replay question at all, but one that you said would be a great fit for an episode with me.
Yes. So we're going to be doing a regular question. This is a question for all those Amandas out there who were 7 and asking their parents about how to pronounce Damon.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely want to ask this one.
All right. This comes from Meetings and Managers, they, them. And it goes, I recently started working at a new job, and they have a bunch of social channels on the company Slack. Someone said they hadn't played D&D before, and long story short, it looks like I'm going to be rotating as a GM/player in a new game. I'm excited to introduce new people to TTRPGs, but doing this through work feels like something could go wrong if the group doesn't work out or there's friction at the table. Anything I should watch out for as I'm running or playing? None of the other players or GMs are in my department, so it isn't anyone I'll be working with day to day. I'm also not sure what to do for my character's gender. I'm not super interested in playing the gender I present as. Basically, I'm not sure of my gender and not out. The company seems good with LGBT stuff, but not really sure if I should just play it safe and play the gender they'd expect.
Yeah. So, Amanda, what do you think? What are things to watch out for while doing this? And what should we do about this character gender question?
Yeah, no, this is a great question. I'm glad you saved it for me. I think that you should play as the gender you present as, or the opposite, not binary, but on the binary gender.
Right. Yeah, that's how I was actually going to say that as well.
Yeah, I think attempting to introduce more gender nuance or gender presentation nuance in your character, this may not be the venue for, but because D&D involves playing a character that is a fantasy, I think most people would absolutely not bat their eye at you if you present as male playing a female character or vice versa.
Right. It has very much like, oh, you're going to play as female first-person character from this Skyrim? You know?
Right, yeah.
Or you're going to play as female shepherd? Cool, that sounds neat. Like, that feels acceptable and hopefully will protect your gender presentation.
Kayfabe?
Yes, that will protect your gender presentation kayfabe that you're doing and working out when you're in a professional environment. Because it's almost like, quote-unquote, societally acceptable from someone who isn't, like, super down. Now, it's more possible than ever. I think that I already know what I want, what I think that we're going to say. It's also possible that Dungeons & Dragons tabletop RPGs have collected people who are open-minded to this,
yes,
but it wouldn't just throw yourself into it willy-nilly. What we always say on replays is like, protect yourself in working environments.
Exactly. That's got to be, thought and priority number one, which I think Meetings and Managers you're already thinking about, in that you're writing in and kind of thinking about how you can make this a positive experience and what you can watch out for. Eric, any thoughts on the rest of the question around staying safe and making sure that they're looking out for whatever they have to look out for? One thought I had was playing this at the office, like in a break room or in a cafeteria, would be a good idea, and just kind of remind people
that really good idea.
Even though it's after hours, it is still, a group of people that you do have work in common with. And also being really clear that, this is not a work activity, but you kind of have the physical sort of reminder that they have to like stay a little bit professional.
Yeah, that's a good one. I've been thinking about this a lot because I've started watching Mad Men for the first time, and I've been kicking around just like, oh, a lot of people use, or we were supposed to be using work as a way to build a community and relationships with each other, both like, it's Mad Men, so romantically, but also like you're supposed, hey, your friends are also people you work with, and I know that gets mixed up. And I think that we've certainly lost this from like the fact that capitalism has grinded work into the absolute worst thing and all the sludge you can get out of you as much as possible, an almost dystopian thing. But at the same time, it's like, well, I kind of missed having friends from work. I miss that from not being in like a traditional job like I do now. And I think that working from home is great in so many ways, but you don't see people in person. I'm also not saying it's mandatory and it's not like better for work, but you do miss seeing people in person.
If they required us all to go to overly air-conditioned boxes calibrated to people with wool suits on, right. A thing we could at least get out of it is making friends and allies with people we wouldn't otherwise come across in our lives.
Right. So what I'm saying is Ordinarily would be like, don't do this, fuck this. I do think you should do this. I think I've come around on it, and I think it will build a relationship with people, and especially if it's cross departments. Now you have friends in other departments that might benefit you both socially and professionally. However, I agree with what Amanda said. You got to protect yourself, and like you got to make sure to figure out what's okay. Like this is a real risk. Obviously, you got to put yourself out there, and it's good you're building relationships. But again, this can be weaponized against you a lot. And you just got to make sure you know where everyone's lines are. Try to be like super clear about what people are into and making lines and veils. If you want to throw yourself out and make yourself like, haha, I'm a millennial or Gen Z, and I really need to like, I need
have
to
safe space.
Have a safe space. Where if we're going to do this, there's a like a not silly way to say this, and I think you know what it is as someone in the working world. But like, I think you really got to make sure it's like, hey, what do we think is funny? What do we think is good here? And also trying to read people what they mean if they're not super clear.
Yeah. I think you should probably keep the sort of level of play to like a PG-13, and not kind of treat these folks like your friends, which is why, maybe they'll grow into that over time. But that's when the friendship kind of crosses outside the office, which is why I think keeping it in, the cafeteria, the break room, get permission, have it after hours or on a lunch break is definitely the way to go here. And I like that they're also rotating GMs. That probably means that they'll have to stick to, some module or some kind of campaign that's like a little bit less kind of freewheeling and, potentially like have a lot of your heart in it, like a lot of homebrew campaigns do, which, again, I hope this goes swimmingly for you. I hope these folks are amazing. I hope you, have many campaigns to come. But in the meantime, I think, go into it tentatively and remind yourself that if people, don't stick around or don't love it or don't really get it right away, it's not, an indictment of you or a thing that you care about a lot, but just, a thing you're trying out at work, like they would a knitting circle or a like exercise group.
Yeah. I wonder if you can also like put time frames on this. Like if you are doing it in person or you're doing it over Zoom, being like, yeah, man, I only have like an hour and a half to do this. Like keep it at 90 minutes.
That's a good idea.
It's a really good idea. Try to think about envision what a poker game would look like, right? Like a work poker game. Try to frame it like that. Being like, yeah, come in. We're just having fun, blah, blah, blah. I'm not trying to win your money, right? Just a thing. It's just a thing to do, right? Being too committed and opening up the problems that would be like, oh, wow, you're super late or you're not prepared is kind of tough, right? So just keep everything light. Keep everything light. Can we go back and forth and throw some things that you would do in your home game that would be really great that you probably shouldn't do with this work game? One of which for me would be, hey, don't make capitalism and Catholicism / Christianity the big bad.
That's good, Eric. That's good. Don't give your character a backstory that resonates really deeply with yours.
Good one. Good one. Yes. Make sure your character is not a thinly veiled creation of your own trauma. That's a good one.
Stares at myself in a mirror. Yes.
Yeah. I would keep like dick jokes to a minimum.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
PG-13.
Yeah. Don't call this goblin like balls.
Right. That's good. Or Excellent point, Eric. Don't name any NPCs after colleagues.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good one. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't be like jailbreaking out of the warehouse, because if somebody later in a la the Satanic Panic could be like, yeah, Jerpathy and meetings and managers were, talking about like heisting the corporate offices in the D&D game. It's like
I don't think Jerpathy likes this manager because they made them the big bad, and they were literally a vampire who sucked the life and energy out of everyone in a village.
Like, you and I both know we could see that question on Ask a Manager being like, I was fired for a thinly veiled, work subplot in my D&D game.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think you gotta also allow players to kind of like do their thing. You can't really push back too hard. Like if you're playing like a fun game and then all of a sudden one of the characters like, and then I cut the goblin's head off. You can say like, whoa, but I don't think you can stop and being like, that's wrong. Don't do that. That's not fun. Which I think you can. And I'm also being overly dramatic. And I think you should at your games that you're literally just having fun. It's like, hey, your energy is different than everything else here. But again, it's just a poker game with people who you're not super friends with. I think you might need to kind of like just let everyone do their thing a little bit.
Exactly. And I think what you said earlier, Eric, about like, make sure it's time limited. I think it's also smart maybe to have a total number of sessions you're aiming for. Be like, yeah, we'll meet, 10 times or 8 times and like do a kind of abbreviated, first campaign, like an arc if we're talking about this as a podcast. But then you kind of decide what you do next. But exactly right. It sounds like you're setting up your tender heart for some bruising if you expect people to, be as invested as you are. And I know Meetings and Managers like has shown other people new TTRPGs and like probably knows a lot of these things that we're talking about. But I think it's valuable just to remember that these folks aren't committing to like a campaign where 10 years later you all have matching tattoos from your campaign.
Right. Yeah, for sure. It's like you kind of got to let go a lot of the stuff that we say of like, if you're not having fun, why the fuck are you doing it? It's like, well, you are doing it for a different reason. You're doing it because you want to get closer to people at your job. And that becomes a little bit different than what we would say in a home game.
But I hope this goes great for you. And also, if you're worried about gender stuff, play Eric Okra. They have no gender, right?
Yeah, just play a bird person.
Yeah. Throw them off the scent.
That's fair. I guess, like, also, again, you don't want to go into a whole conversation trying to get your, like, Jerry from accounting to remember your character's pronouns the whole time. Yeah. That's the only thing.
I'd go opposite. Lots of cis people play, an opposite gender.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I know plenty of dudes who just pick the lady.
Plenty of moms play, teenage ruffians that are boys when they play D&D.
I love Teenage Ruffian. It's on my 90s mixtape.
All right, well, let's know how it goes.
I hope it goes well. We're also being overly protective of you. I think you're going to be fine. And hopefully this won't happen.
Exactly. Hopefully none of it will happen. But, just think about if someone described this to a boss out of context, would it look bad on me? And that's what you always got to keep in mind when you're at work. So keep your head on a swivel and enjoy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, a real question. Everything's different. Hey, it's Eric, and I have all my leftovers from grilling on July 4th. Some feta stuffed hamburgers, some hot dogs, some watermelon salad, a lot of corn. Please finish it because it's taking up so much space in my fridge. I hope you're having a wonderful summer, and you can have us have a wonderful summer as well. Good transition, Eric. You nailed it. By supporting this wonderful independent podcast and join the Patreon, patreon.com/games and feelings. I'm going to visit Jasper in the UK, and we're going to make some Patreon-only content just for you. And if we have more of you, then more of you can hear it. Doesn't that sound great? And I think our newest patron, Henry, is supporting us as well. You get ad-free episodes. You get bonus podcasts, the replay that Amanda and I have been doing. And I'm going to post that. I've just been kind of all over the place and super sick lately. But those are going to get posted like they should. And you get to submit questions for episodes that you get a super special privilege for. And you can be a producer-level patron like Polly Burridge, Kelsey Duffy, and Peyton, who also played a 64-point word against my mom while playing Scrabble. And she was really impressed. Patreon.com/games and feelings. It is a great day to try another show from the Multitude Podcast Collective. I think you'd like Exolore. Have you ever wondered what life would be like on a planet different from our own, or how writers create your favorite fictional worlds? Well, wonder no more, because we have the facts for you. Every other week, astrophysicist and folklorist Dr. Moya McTeer explores fictional worlds by building them with a panel of expert guests, interviewing professional world builders, or reviewing the merits of worlds that have already been built. You'll learn, you'll laugh, you'll get an appreciation for how special our planet truly is. Subscribe today by searching for Exolore in your podcast app, or go to exolorepod.com. We are sponsored this week by Shaker and Spoon. Shaker and Spoon is a cocktail service that helps you learn how to make handcrafted cocktails right at home. Every box comes with enough ingredients to make 3 different cocktail recipes developed by world-class mixologists. All you need to do is buy 1 bottle of that month's spirit, and you'll have everything you need to make 12 drinks at home. And at just $40 to $50 a month, plus the cost of the bottle, that's a super effective way to enjoy craft cocktails. And you can skip and cancel boxes at any time. It's one of those really easy-to-use subscription services. Believe me, I've been subscribed to this one. It's like men's stuff service for like 10 years, and it's really, really hard to cancel as I do every single month because I don't want any of that stuff. So just invite some friends over, class up your nightcaps, or be the best house guest of all time with Shaker and Spoon, straight out of Brooklyn, New York. Get $20 off your first box. That is $40 to $50 minus $20. That is a deal, folks. $20 off your first box at shakerandspoon.com/games-and-feelings. They also do a wonderful split with us as podcasters, so if you're supporting Shaker and Spoon, you're really supporting Games and Feelings really nicely. They're the best. $20 off shakerandspoon.com/games-and-feelings. And now, back to the show.
Eric, would you like a question from Ask a Manager with an update?
I would.
All right. So this question was given the title Offensiveness in the Fantasy Football League.
Stupid.
Great. I need to gauge if I'm overreacting. It's fantasy football season, and as an HR professional, I'm studiously ignoring the emails about joining, quote, work leagues due to gambling being illegal. One of our new managers has joined this league.
Well, that feels like already this feels super flimsy. Just say you don't want to do it. I don't know how.
This person's gambling, an HR professional.
When is this from?
September.
This year?
2022.
2022? Man, professional sports and gambling are the same. It's barely, but it's like acceptable. If it's cloaked in sports, it's fine.
Yep.
I know this person's an HR professional, but it really feels like, I already feel like this person is trying to go out of their way to not be a part of this thing and is using HR to cloak it. I don't know.
There's definitely things here that this person is not just selectively upset about, but it is definitely possible gambling's against company policy.
No. I know it is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I know that it's a thing. Like Final Four, March Madness brackets, and fantasy football leagues, and like poker nights. I know that they're not supposed to be about money, but it's always like low stakes nothingness. It's like, oh, everyone put in $20.
That's true. That's not the issue here, Eric, because one of our new managers has joined this league made up of employees, former employees, and spouses of employees.
Yikes.
And named his team a reference to a football player who died by suicide.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. I'm so surprised.
You're laughing because you're surprised and uncomfortable. Yep. And
I also want to point out, deep cut.
Yes.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I'm not repeating here the actual reference and name because I find it personally upsetting. But the title and the person are...
Oh, okay. So it's a famous person who is also involved in crime.
Yes.
This person was also involved in murder crime.
Yes.
Okay. So it's less of a deep cut than who I was thinking, but still, like, it's not like you're talking about O.J. Simpson, who everyone knows about. Like, this is a little niche. You are trying to like, wow, all of us are on equal footing and know lots of things about football.
Got it.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Got it.
It's like also you're going out of your way to make like a very, very off-color, very specific football fan joke.
I see.
What
so
I'm saying is like
this is not like in the cultural miasma, like One Glove or something.
Right, exactly. It's not even like, oh, I'm going to make an O.J. Simpson's reference.
Which even, people
died. Off color, but pop culture, certainly. This is not pop culture. That's what I'm trying to say. This is like
not a thing that
levels down.
SNL would reference.
Maybe SNL would reference it when it was in the news, but maybe not now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say is like you are going out of your way to make a more niche joke to say something upsetting in your fantasy football league.
Point taken. The letter also, I'm going back into the letter now. The manager's user photo also references the method by which the person died.
Jesus Christ. What is happening? Okay.
So the league's commissioner reached out to my grand boss, which is on Ask a Manager, the boss of your boss, for help, as the commissioner is, quote, personally amused and professionally horrified.
Fair. That's how I feel.
One of this manager's direct reports is in the league, too. We informed him of the social media policy and asked him to change all of it. He complied while stating, it's ridiculous that anyone could find that offensive, and even more ridiculous that someone would report this to HR instead of bringing it to me. Am I out of my mind, thinking this is completely out of line? I admit he posts political things on his LinkedIn that oppose my beliefs, and that may be coloring my view of him.
Sure.
And then
this is so crazy.
The final line.
Oh my God. Nothing about that's why these Ask a Manager questions blow my mind, because it's like, since I'm in a business environment, this is fucked up, right? Because a lot of people are telling me it's not.
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
God.
And then the final paragraph reads, I don't know how to end this email. I'm upset that we allowed this man into our company, where I'm afraid he could do real harm to our employees or even our clients.
Boy, gee whiz. I mean, it's just the thing that I thought. I can't believe I jumped to conclusions that this was going to be so stupid. This is wild.
Yep.
I cannot believe this. How bold do you, again, this is kind of like the opposite, or this is the thing that we were warning the previous question asker about, right? That this kind of stuff could happen, and then you find yourself in a bind because it's not social, it's professional. So you can't just be like, we're not friends anymore, bye, this is ridiculous. Like, you have to just sit here, and then he can be professionally mad, and then we have legitimate consequences as it gets tied to money and professional power.
Yeah, and unlike a friend, you can't be like, dude, this was uncool and I want to talk to you about why, because I care about you and our relationship. Like, you don't. You're all there for money. And...
Or even then, you can just be like, hey, friend, this was not the proper venue to do this. Can we just change it and move on? No one's super mad at you. Just let's move on. But this guy, obviously, is bringing his Republican bullshit to the office.
Yes.
Like, I can say whatever I want. I'm shocking.
Exactly right. What do you think Allison Green had to say about this?
I mean, she probably thought it was unacceptable and ridiculous. And then she's going to be like, not much more you can do. Because she always says that.
You want to see?
Please.
All right. So Allison writes, first of all, you're not overreacting. Joking about suicide is always going to be tasteless. And most people should be able to see that, especially inappropriate.
I am so uncomfortable by how much people need to say that.
I know. Especially at work, there are certainly people who are personally affected by this issue, right? Like, bad. She continues, but while the team name is offensive, the manager's reaction when you asked him to change it is worse. A tasteless joke is one thing. Proudly declaring that other people's discomfort is ridiculous is a much bigger problem, since now you have to worry he's likely to be saying other offensive things and shutting down team members who aren't comfortable with that. You also say he's a new manager. Is he new to your company? If so, the fact that a new employee would dig in his heels on this is surprising and doesn't bode well for other attitudes he's carrying. Luckily, you're in HR. Someone on your team should have a serious conversation with him about the company's values, the values he's expected to operate with on the job, and what sorts of things aren't acceptable. Someone should flag all this for his boss, too.
Yeah, but then it all comes down to, is someone actually going to do something about this?
Yeah.
Are you going to do something? And then what are you going to do? You're going to write down on a piece of paper that, like, person was tasteless in fantasy football league? If there's anything I've learned from being in these jobs is, like, you can't be a precog, right? This is a Minority Report where you know that they're going to make a crime in the future and then you arrest them for it. However, we do have this. It's called human intuition, right? Someone acts a type of way and then you're like, I bet this person's going to continue to act a type of way. But you can't fire them until they do something incredibly whack, right? And it drove me crazy during my 20s. But then I'm realizing it's like, well, I understand you can't fire someone for a future crime, but they're just going to act incredibly shitty until something super bad happens. It's all we can do because everything is because of the structure of jobs.
Yeah. Even if this person said, like, oh, you guys can't take a joke, like, saying no one could find it offensive is objectively wrong.
I agree with you, but, like, again,
No.
What's going to happen? I don't think this is going to get escalated. I wonder if that's going to be the follow-up.
Yeah, we do have an update, so we're going to see what happened here. But I do just want to point out that the person in question responding with, it's ridiculous someone would report this to HR instead of bringing it to me, shows like a fundamental misunderstanding of work and jobs.
Yeah.
Because like, that's what it's like. That's, of course not. Of course not. Like, probably it's somebody that you have direct work power over, and they can't simply say to you, like, hey, boss, this joke isn't cool. Who likes to get told their jokes aren't cool? Nobody, especially not your boss.
Not your boss. Not your boss. Being a boss means that you don't have people bringing you stuff like that.
Everyone around you goes, ha-ha, and then leaves your office.
Joke.
I know. All right, shall we get the update?
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know why I'm feeling so pessimistic about this, but questions like this are like, yeah, so it turns out no one did anything, and I left 2 years later, and my salary is 30% more.
Yeah, exactly right. All right, let's get to the update, which came in June of 2023.
Oh, okay. Relatively quick.
From September to June, so
that's pretty good.
Yeah, about 9 months. All right, so person starts, I wish I had a better update for you.
See?
I'm pretty low in the HR hierarchy with my company, so all I could really do was tell my boss we have to keep an eye on this manager because his response was concerning. Exactly right. Eric's making a like, hey, do you see that? Do you see that?
That's what I said.
That's exactly what you said.
Oh, God.
Someone else reported him to HR shortly after I wrote you for his public conversations on LinkedIn.
Right.
More abrasive and politically controversial stuff the company doesn't want to be associated with.
Right. So, again, it's like you have to have broken a line in the sand that already exists. You don't get to, like, draw the line in the sand around the problem, even if it should be.
Yes, exactly right.
Imagine posting political beliefs on LinkedIn.
Eric, I sure can't.
I thought that's what Twitter and Facebook were for.
I know. I sure can't. So you're correct that this person is a Republican and loves Trump. He went on a 2-page diatribe about feeling persecuted at work the next time he was called out for something that happened at work.
Same. I feel that way when Brandon says that apples are bad.
We now, months later, have someone transferring out of his department solely because of personality conflicts due to his abrasive demeanor.
But personality conflicts can be anything.
Exactly
right. It can be anything.
Yep. He seems to have finally shut down his LinkedIn profile and cleaned out his LinkedIn profile. My bad. Wishful thinking. That was wrong. That was a
Again, being like, wow, LinkedIn too woke.
Yeah, right?
Can't do it.
I'm sure it happens.
Oh, my God.
He seems to have finally decided to keep his beliefs to himself, and my new boss is keeping a close eye on him to ensure he stays in line.
I want to get you a sweatshirt that says LinkedIn too woke on it.
It's pretty good. Anyway, that's it, Eric. Nothing changes.
Right. Yeah, see, exactly.
Yep.
Jeez.
Not all updates are good.
No,
you know?
They're doing like a week of updates on Ask a Manager right now, and most of the updates are not good.
Yeah.
Almost never is it, I took your advice and everything went well. It's always like, I didn't do anything and I have a better job. I'm still in job hell and nothing's different. Or this person actually made the biggest mess up of their entire life and it was spectacular and everyone loved it and they're no longer in my life.
Yes, exactly right.
It's like this person drove their car through the office and finally they got fired for that.
I know, right? Seriously. All right, Eric, shall we move next to a question that I've teased in the past from Miss Manners?
You tosed it?
Real husband and wife shit.
Wow, what a toes.
Yeah. So this is from November 16th, 2020.
Okay.
All right. This
Tough
is
time.
Tough time.
Tough.
This is to Miss Manners. Again, one of these, very traditional advice columnists. She grew up the child of Jewish diplomats in Washington, D.C., and her kids continued on her column after her retirement.
Same. Me too.
Yep.
I had the same experience.
This letter begins.
You've been sitting on this.
Yes. I know in this pandemic, there are pressing issues to discuss. You needed some cheering up. I've saved it for a rainy day.
On top of it, how many advice questions you've read me? Sometimes something is such a meatball down the middle, I get surprised that I don't swing at it. Wow.
Is a meatball a really tasty ball?
Yeah, just like it's 60 miles per hour right down the middle, ready for you to hit it.
Nice. I know in this pandemic there are pressing issues to discuss, semicolon.
Can you get that on a sweatshirt?
Right?
Get that on the back of your LinkedIn Too Woke sweatshirt. LinkedIn Too Woke, and then on the back.
It's good. It's good stuff. However, I would appreciate your feedback on this board game question.
I have spent too much time with my family over the last few months. Please give me a ruling. I need it.
Yep. My sweet, loving wife and I. It just keeps getting better, Eric.
All right. Yeah. He's going to say something so heinous. I'm so ready.
Have begun to play Scrabble together. But now we are in disagreement on fair play. Apparently, she has become quite good at Words with Friends, a smartphone app similar to Scrabble.
Oh, yeah.
Which I frequently see her playing while I read or watch a movie. Lofty hobbies is my close reading.
This is real. While you were partying, my wife was studying the blade. We're also getting over getting sick, so every time we laugh, Mischa has to cut out us coughing an extended amount. Oh my god.
Here's our conflict, : In Scrabble, my loving wife will play 2-letter words in crossword style to generate several words for triple word points. And when I challenge her on their meaning, she doesn't know or can't explain their context. She defers to the Scrabble dictionary online.
Oh.
She's usually correct. For example, did you know TA is a saying of gratitude and BA is the name for the eternal soul in Egyptian mythology? She didn't either, but she got the bonus points, and I lost a turn by challenging. Words with Friends has no requirement for knowing the meaning of words you play, but I think respectable Scrabble players should know the words they play. That way, they learn and build their vocabulary too. My wife, she probably now loves me a bit less, refuses to play with me because I think it's a reasonable request to know the meaning of the words you use. No question. It just ends there.
Okay. I bet if you looked at maybe first or second edition Scrabble rules, that's in it. You need to know what words mean before you play it. I'm sure that that's a part of the game. If I'm thinking about the people who invented the game Scrabble, I think that pretentious thing question asker said at the end, that's a part of it. It's supposed to be about learning new vocabulary, and it's a battle of wits, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, I also love, and my mom has gotten on me about this extensively, about playing random words that you need to know to be a high-level Words with Friends / Scrabble player, like AA, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, there is a very easy solution to this that both of them are being stubborn about.
Is it what we do at home?
What is it?
Print out the 2-letter word list, put it on the box?
Exactly. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you should print out the 2-letter word list so everyone knows it to create high-level play. Or, one, dude, you got to stop challenging.
Yeah.
Because she wouldn't be playing it if she didn't know it. And so that's on him. He's being too stubborn every time he challenges. And then she's like, I don't know, but then do it. And, hey, lady, learn the definitions.
There's only 30 of them. There's not a lot.
For example, AA is a type of magma that was discovered in Hawaiian volcanoes in during the birth of modern geology. But you also looked it up. The Egyptian spirit.
Yeah.
You did. All you have to do is look it up.
Yeah.
There's only so many really neat, like you just said, there's only so many fiddly words. Learn the definitions of 50 words. And then you're good.
If for no other reason than to make your husband eat his words.
Exactly.
I would love if this wife studied the blade and went away for a couple of hours and came back knowing the definitions to all of these 2-letter words. And it's like, I do know what QI means. I mean, that one you probably know. But yes, you come back knowing it. I think you just got to decide on a house rule.
Exactly.
And go for it. And because she knows the 2-letter words well and he doesn't, that can also be not fun. Like if you rack up, 70 points and the other person's like, oh, okay, this one spells at, that can be not fun.
I'm playing cat because that's all I had.
Exactly. So do what we do at home and we tape it to the inside of the box lid and both of us can look at it. And it helps. Eric knows all these words. I don't know them very well. And so it helps to make the playing field a little bit more equal and fun for me, at least, even though he could be like, no, I don't think so. And then just win every game. And then I'd also not want to play.
Yeah, it's interesting. What is the point of Scrabble? Is it just, I don't know if a word game like this, the most classical of word games, I don't think it's just about getting the most number of points. Because there is a very, very high amount of variance and luck in Scrabble of applying the right letters. If you lose Scrabble, 50% of the time, it's because your draws were dog crap. So what I'm thinking the point of Scrabble is to flex that you're smarter than someone else. Like, I think that ultimately that's kind of what the game is for.
I think it's kind of about pattern recognition with the letters you have and making patterns of a thing that I have like thousands of in my head already, which are English words.
Right. Yeah. And that's like, and then you get to do that to someone else because it's a contest. So that's what I'm saying is like, I don't think that just winning because you are good at points is enough for winning. That's why I think this is so silly. Is like this guy wants the integrity of intellectualism, and this woman wants to just win the game. And I feel like both are integral to winning at Scrabble. It's like neither of them are. This guy's bad at Scrabble, and this woman is not trying to flex that she's smarter than who she's playing against. And I feel like both are integral to winning the game, or like to this particular competition. So I think that both of them are wrong. I know that he's being obviously pretentious, but it's like just being stubborn and not coming up with a house rule, and neither of them budging is ridiculous.
It sounds like they have not had a discussion about what's fun for them. Like he says that, you to be a respectable Scrabble player, to get a high level of play, and nobody, like, it sounds like a thing that he wants and has assumed that she wants or has decided to want for both of them, instead of saying like, oh, like what will be fun? What are our rules? What do you want to do? Or like, hey, it's not fun for me when you play a bunch of words that I don't know and that you don't know the meaning of. That to me kind of takes the fun out of it. That would be the normal way to sort of address this one-on-one, or for her to say, listen, I think you're, gatekeeping my words with friends knowledge by insisting I know the names of all of them. And then I think the funniest thing would be to study the blade, come back to
I don't know why neither of them will just learn the two-letter words. I just don't know why.
Well, this is a classic am I good advice question, because there's no question in it, Eric. There's no question.
It's just a situation.
Just a situation. So do you want to know what Dear Miss Manners said?
Yes. Before I do, I thought the question was going to be, there are Words with Friends accepts different words than the Scrabble dictionary does. And I thought that was going to be the conflict.
That's definitive.
And I'm like, that's interesting. I'm like, that's interesting. You could play, I would play with a bigger corpus, but as long as it's in some dictionary, because they have those. We use them.
We use Scrabble dictionaries online, yeah.
But also you can toggle like the corpus about, you can put on the Words with Friends ones as well, because Words with Friends I think accepts more proper nouns or something. I haven't played Words with Friends in forever, but so I'm just pulling it out of my head.
Yeah, people play it with different languages. Like people play it with Spanish and English words. Like people do whatever they want, and you can do whatever you want. You just have to decide on a rule set so that you know what you're playing.
Right, for sure.
All right, this is what Miss Manners wrote back. Are you certain there are issues more pressing than preserving your marriage during these difficult times? Like what?
Got him! Absolutely got him.
Besides, your once loving wife is building her vocabulary because you keep challenging those words, thus requiring her to look them up.
Exactly, but you should have looked them up before. Make your husband eat his words. No pun intended. Yes, pun intended.
Not much comfort for you, Miss Manners dare say. In the interest of marital peace, she suggests that you build your own vocabulary faster. Online, you can find a list of two-letter words. Learn to use them yourself and know when to issue a challenge. Or persuade your wife to play chess with you.
It's just that simple.
Just that simple.
It's just that simple. Learn more words.
Learn more words.
Either one of you could learn more words, and neither of you are learning more words.
It's very funny. I love the wife is like, I'm not going to play anymore.
The fundamental tension, I think, in this question is that he keeps challenging and losing.
Yes.
Like, right? That's, if you look, there's no question in this
question. Yeah.
There's no question in this question. But the main thing that stands out to me is I don't like it when I challenge her and I'm wrong.
Exactly.
That's your fault.
So either get good or don't challenge her.
Yeah. Those are the only two choices.
Yeah.
Complaining and calling your wife stupid, not the move.
Yeah, seriously.
Not the move. When you were out partying and reading, she was studying the blade.
I bet she's really good at Words with Friends, y'all.
I bet she is. Yeah. Words with Friends is hard.
Especially
when you're just playing against a rando who might torch you.
Yeah. A lot of my YouTube friends used it to stay in touch when it first came out, because that was like peak us going to VidCon era, and it's intense, bro.
We are definitely going to end up playing Scrabble with my mom.
Yeah, you got her that nice deluxe set.
I did, and it's really nice. I love high quality Scrabble. I like the boards where you snap the letters in.
So
honestly,
satisfying.
My least favorite thing about Scrabble is how flimsy the board is.
Yeah.
And like having high quality pieces and like having extras so you can fill in letters when you lose them.
Turntable.
Oh, the turntable. Yeah,
so good.
I love it. So I really want to play. My thing about my mom is that she loves telling you how smart you are.
Well, because she didn't grow up with me as a child learning to play Scrabble. I just arrived in her home fully formed.
But here's the thing. I beat her at Scrabble all the time.
You beat both of us most of the time. Yeah.
I know words, and then she's like, Amanda, great word. And it's like hubris. I was like, I knew that from 6th grade.
She's just impressed by my vocabulary, like that time I used the word ablutions, and then she texted to us every few weeks, just without context. But you have much better Scrabble strategy. You know a lot more 2-letter words. You know a lot more about, maximizing the spread of the board.
But I know words too.
Yeah. But I'm saying she should be like, Eric, you have a vocabulary and you're good at Scrabble. Instead,
Right.
she, goes out of her way to make me
She's like,
feel nice,
Amanda,
which is nice.
$2 word. And I'm like, Mom, I'm winning by 200 points right now.
Yeah, I know. It's true.
I just would love praise. So if I could just have that.
Well, my dad and his girlfriend did give you a lot of meats and bagels recently and pamper you. So
That's true. That was nice. But
try
they
to go
didn't
back and forth.
say how smart and good I was.
That's true. I'll give him that note for next time.
Yeah. Your dad said how smart and good you were.
Well, you guys talked about golf. That's how
I
men
think
bond.
golf was interesting.
Yeah, you knew a lot of things about what was happening, what with the golf.
Yeah, I know sports things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do what I want to do because my throat hurts.
That's okay. Well, we'll tell you the next replay how our Scrabble went.
Sounds like a plan.
I know. There's going to be so many dogs at our feet.
Ugh,
And I'm just going to give them lethal pets. Oh, this is going to be the first time you're going to be able to pat dogs with your lack of allergens.
Yeah, with my bio
Your
biohacking.
biohacking.
Biohacking,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
That's going to be awesome. All right, well, we're going to send photos of Cleo at our feet while we're playing Scrabble. It's going to be great. And yeah.
Hey, have you plugged the Multitude Discord on this show?
I don't
recently?
remember. I don't know.
Well, there are a lovely contingent of Games and Feelings listeners hanging out in our free Multitude community Discord.
Oh,
So
yes.
if you aren't in it, you should join. It's lovely, and they talk about new episodes and old episodes, and that is where I think, Eric, you should share the photo of Cleo so people are incentivized to come in. Go to multitude.productions/community and read over our little code of conduct, and then join the Discord.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the episode description.
Whee!
Yeah, Multitude Discord. It's free. Come hang out. That's another episode. Amanda, where can people find you on the internet?
I'm She's So Mickey, and if you follow me on Instagram and Twitter, you will see me proudly amplify my loving husband's work and also share photos of the dogs and plants I come across in my day.
Wow. You can find me on Twitter at L_Silvero, EL_SALVERO. My name if I was a Lucha Libre wrestler. And you can find me on TikTok at Eric V. Silver. I end up reposting it in some places like the Join the Party socials as well. And if you want to submit questions that we might read on these episodes, but all of the episodes, we got some really hot episodes coming out soon. Just go submit that. Just go to gamesandfeelings.com/questions or click the link in the episode descriptions. Thanks, Amanda, for doing the replay with me.
Thanks, honey. I'm really liking your TikToks. Good job.
Thanks. I'm trying. Join the Patreon. Hear more of this. So I've been sick, so it's been hard for me to remember how to post, but I will. We're doing it on Saturdays. I love you.
Love you.
You all.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Games and Feelings is produced by Eric Silver and edited and mixed by Mischa Stanton. The theme music is Return to French Toast Castle by Jeff Bryce, and the art was created by Jessica Boyd. Find transcripts for this episode and all episodes at our website, gamesandfeelings.com. Until next time, press X to enjoy the podcast.